and slid to my left and got a hand on her right hip, grabbing the hem of her panties and shoved. That threw her off balance, and she stumbled back laughing. I grasped her left arm under the elbow and pushed it as gently as I could up and back to move her toward the wall. But she screwed her body into me, whacking me in the chest with the heel of a hand and driving me back half a step, still laughing. I pulled her back in close to me, safer, and took her by the chin. "What are you doing?" Her eyes were lit with mischief and lust. I felt her fingertips brush the skin on my belly as they sought the inside of my thigh, and I shivered. "What?" "I don't fight, Darl." "Oh," she said. She reached a hand up to caress my cheek. I felt the tension leach out of her body and out of mine. "You're such a girl," she said. She slid her panties off and nudged me backward toward her bedroom. I must have glanced at the phone on her nightstand when it rang a few minutes later, because Darlene grabbed the back of my neck and whispered hard in my ear, "Do not stop." The phone rang this late only if something was wrong with one of our mothers, or if the sheriff needed Darlene. And if the sheriff needed Darlene, then there was a chance that I, as executive editor of the twice-weekly Pine County Pilot, circulation 4124, had a story to report. The answering machine clicked on after 4 rings. I heard Darlene's recorded voice, "You know what to do," over her stuttered gasps in my ear, and I thought, "Yes, I do," and I rolled her over onto her back and felt her calves and her heels digging into my back, squeezing me into her. The caller didn't leave a message, which meant it was probably the sheriff. Our mothers left messages, but the sheriff, knowing I might be here, wouldn't take the chance that I would hear what he had to say, lest it appear in the pilot before he decided it was time. I told myself to try to remember to call him the next day, while Darlene clutched me to her breasts and pleaded, "Don't stop, Gussie, don't stop." For the moment, I forgot about the phone call. I awoke as Darlene undid herself from my left arm and crossed the tiny room and dug her cell phone out of the brown and mustard sheriff's hat she'd left upside down on her dresser. The nightstand clock said 2:21. The cell phone's keypad shone on Darlene's face as she punched keys. I heard 3 beeps. Must be voicemail, I thought. She couldn't help herself. She put the phone to an ear and turned away from me, facing the mirror over the dresser. I stared at the ceiling, replaying the goal I hadn't quite scored earlier that night. I'd parked myself at one goalpost, all alone. Zilchi had slipped out of the opposite corner, made a move on the defenseman, and zipped the puck right onto my stick. I'd had the whole damn net to shoot at, but I tightened up a little, and the puck caught in the heel of my blade, and I pulled the shot. Back when I played goalie, I would have loved hearing the clang of that puck off the post. Instead, I was just embarrassed. Still, we played, got a good sweat, there was a beer and a bucket of ice in the dressing room. And now, I was in Darlene's bed. I moved my head enough to see her reflection in the dresser mirror, but her hair obscured her face. I watched as she listened to the phone, then took it off her ear, punched another key, put it back on her ear. Now, as she listened, her head slowly bowed into her neck, and she drew her right arm around her waist until I could see her fingertips against her left hip. I raised myself on an elbow. "Everything okay?" I said. She tossed the phone back into the hat, straightened herself, threw her head back, stared up at the ceiling. In the mirror, I watched her shut her eyes and press her lips together. "Darlene?" "No." "No what?" "No, everything's not okay." I got to my feet and moved toward her, but she spun around and pushed past me toward her closet.